I'm sure you guys have heard this all the time by now, that you need to go into monk mode if you want to succeed. Cut off all your distractions, isolate yourself and just grind 24/7. But to be honest with you, the more and more successful I've gotten, the more and more I've realized how BS that way of thinking is. Monk mode is the enemy if you want long-term success. Monk mode is the idea that if you really want to make progress, you have to cut off everything. No social life, no distractions, no fun. It's like going dark, grinding 24/7, and maybe you'll get where you want to be. And to be honest with you guys, I used to buy into this and I completely get why it's important. Focus is very important, and sometimes you do have to lock in. But honestly, I don't think you need to go full monk mode to achieve your goals. Now, a mindset I've developed over my time in business is as I go day by day, when something needs to get done, it gets done. I'm not in this extreme all or nothing mindset. For me, it's all about setting your priorities straight and knowing when to lock in and when to chill out. The ultimate key is balance, not isolation. Now, monk mode might sound very appealing. It sounded very appealing for me when I first started getting into everything. But to me, and I'm sure to you if you're watching this video, it's just not what life is about. It's about getting things done consistently, but also enjoying the process. Humans are made to have social interaction with each other. When you cut that off, life is shit. Now I'm going to tell you guys how I balance fun and the hustle, but before we do that, we need to rewind the clock. In the month of June this year, I had just deleted Snapchat, I had just deleted TikTok, all I had was Instagram to keep my businesses running. But I was in this full grind state and almost nothing else mattered to me apart from doing work 24/7. I had no social life, I had no nothing. And to be honest with you, it's where my business made the most progression, but at the same time, it was where I was the most miserable. I hated my life. And I had this big turning point where one day I slept in, I missed my alarm, and I all just fell to shit. I was so burnt out that for the next week, I basically got in a slump. I wasn't reading my Bible, I wasn't doing any of my non-negotiables that I had set out for myself because I missed one day and the drive was just completely gone. It was almost like the whole last month I was just on autopilot mode. Now, coming out of this week-long period of just straight laziness, I thought to myself, I have to find a solution, or I'm just gonna end up miserable either way. Because as a man, I'm miserable when I'm not working towards a higher purpose. I also think that it's important not to work like I was, because you will get burnt out eventually and you will be in a depressive state no matter what. Now, I'm gonna give you guys the main things that helped me get out of this and almost balance the fun and the hustle in my life. I started enjoying my life again, started being more social, and just overall, I love life now, man. Now, I may not be grinding 24/7 like I was, but I also do not let myself slack off anymore. I've built a system where I know when to lock in and when to chill out. Now let's start with having a consistent schedule. When I wake up, I know exactly what needs to be done. Content creation, the workout, the business goal, it all needs to get done. Now, obviously I follow this whole eat the frog concept. Now, I talked about that in my other video, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically the king gave you a platter of food. For example, you had your steak here, you had your dessert over there, and then he gave you this frog. What would you eat first? You'd eat the frog, right? So then all the food after is good. Because if you ate really good steak and really good dessert and you started getting full from that, it would be a lot harder to eat that frog, right? So the whole concept of that is just doing the hardest thing first in the morning. So for me, obviously I had my non-negotiables, I had my meditation, I had reading my book, reading my Bible, praying, but the first tasks of the day were always the hardest things I needed to get done. As I progressed through the day, obviously I'd slowly progress through these tasks. Eventually it'd come to like late afternoon, nighttime, it'd all be done, I could just chill out. Now, the way I see it, that time to relax feels a lot more relaxing when you know you've earned it, when you know you've worked your ass off for the day. Now, your reward can be anything. It can be hanging out with your friends, it can be gaming. And the cool thing about this is that it feels like a small win. Almost, for example, I'm telling myself in my head, well, you did the work that you needed to do, now you get this in return. So the secret isn't working all the time. It's about structuring your day, getting what needs to be done, and then having some guilt-free chill time. So for example, for me, now I've never been very big on parties, but one of my good friends a few months ago in June, he had his 18th birthday coming up. And in my mind, I'm like, I do not deserve to go to this party. So what I did was I got my book and I wrote out, this is like 2 weeks out from the party. I was like, what do you need to do to deserve this party? And I would just write, I was like, you need to post every day. You need to check up on your clients every day. You need to get X amount of clients. You need to not miss a single day in your morning routine. And guess what? It was actually very motivating that whole 2 weeks. If I didn't want to get up in the morning, I'd just be like, do you want to go to his party or not? Yeah, you want to go? Well, get your ass out of bed then. Now, this technique might seem very simple at face value, but to be honest, I can't express to you guys how essential having this reward system in place was to ensuring long-term success for me. The way I've always seen it is every small win builds momentum. You don't need to hit massive goals every day, but if you keep doing everything you need to do day in and day out, those massive goals will definitely come along the way. It's like if you fold paper once, it's not very thick, is it? But if you fold it 42 times, you get to the moon. And before you know it, you're miles ahead of your competition, because your competition's too focused on doing monk mode, man. It's not just about hustling and grinding. Hustling and grinding definitely has its time and place. But what's more important is creating a sustainable routine to ensure long-term success. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. To get success with this reward system that I have in place for myself, you need to be able to trust yourself. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'll post every day. If I post every day, I can go to his party, and then not do it and still go to the party. Because then your brain's not even gonna trust itself, man. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The way to succeed with the reward system that I have in place for myself is staying true to yourself. If I were to say, oh yeah, I'll post every day, I'll check up on my clients every day, and if I do that, I can go to the party, and then I missed a day, yet I still went to the party, that's not being true to myself. That's lying to myself. And no one loses in that situation apart from me. The one thing I want you guys to realize is in those situations, you're only doing a disservice to yourself. If you want to ever be able to back yourself, you can't be doing that shit. You gotta stay true to your word. So to be honest with you guys, you really don't need monk mode to succeed. You can work hard, achieve your goals, and still enjoy your life. For me, building a routine that allowed me to earn my downtime was a big key to my success. When you know what needs to be done and you tackle it head on, what you do is you almost create space for enjoyment without having guilt. It's about making distinctive choices that align with your goals while still living your life to the absolute fullest. So bro, don't fall for the myth that you have to sacrifice everything in order to get ahead. Especially if you're a teenager. You can be disciplined, achieve your goals, and still enjoy your teenage years. I'm telling you guys that because I've done it myself. Now, I don't want to be that guy and add a plug-in at the end of the video, but if you do want to join a community of like-minded individuals and have access to me and all my training programs and diet plans, the link is in bio for that. It is currently on a 50% discount for the next month. So get on that, guys. Now, if you're still watching this video, I want you guys to comment what is one small win that you are proud of this week. But apart from that, if you did find this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. And always remember to stay blessed.